It's 5 minutes to 1. It's April the 25th, 2007, Anno Domini. We were on page 61. And Glendora asked you, is this worth $136,000 a year times 3? Each one of these judges gets $136,000 a year plus. Is it worth $70,000 a year for a law clerk? $70,000 a year, if that, for Stephen G. Tamaran. Maybe he's part-time, I think he is. For somebody not fully skilled, not well-versed, not proficient, not expert, an amateur, not completely fulfilling the proposed end, which is justice. For somebody dishonest, for somebody who is dishonorable. And Sawrock writes, Miss E. Cox promised to sign the renewal upon which plaintiff relies is at best an agreement to agree later. Why, that's just plain stupid. It was an agreement to sign. Now you prove it, Sawrock, and you substantiate it. Your stuff is empty, unsound, confused, muddled, addled, rotten, and putrid, and this is just the kind of stuff that the appellate term eats up, the way maggots eat up garbage. And the refusal to sign the renewal manifests a clear rejection of the relationship. Okay, but after she said she would. And that's breach of contract. And that's the gravamen. And you lie. Who? Sawrock, Sadley, Stevens, Burke, and Burke. Rudolph. Lippman. McCabe. After she said she would. Totally lacking in skill, management, dexterity, and adroitness, all of you just named. They cannot even lie with finesse. Yet, they've been lying so long, they should be able to lie with finesse. Renewal and hence any oral contract. And the terms of any renewal and any oral contract. Ibid. You know, it's a waste of time to refute this stupid man's lies. But he's not going to get away with it. You could read this if I wasn't here to tell you what really happened. You could read this and believe it. And so could future generations. Glendora filed her notice of appeal on the decision on or about July 11, 2005. And on December 27, 2006, this court affirmed the decision dismissing Glendora's small claims court action. That is nothing you can brag about. And this is a sad day for the municipality, the county, the state, and the country. And is this worth a state judge pay raise? No, you make them pay us for the harm that they have done to our courts. Harm such as delineated herein. And Sawrock writes, it held that the court below improperly granted defendant's motion dismissing the action. Even the most liberal reading of plaintiffs, and this is nothing but, you know, a platitude, a worn-out phrase. It's hackneyed. A liberal reading of plaintiff's allegation, accepting them as true, and affording plaintiff every benefit of the doubt, fails in demonstrating the existence of a cause of action based on breach of contract. Well, you just plain lie, okay? Oh, Sawrock, Seidel, Sadley, Stevens, Burke, Chirk. Who? McCabe, Rudolph, Lippman. He just plain lied. You can't prove what you said. You cannot substantiate it. You cannot find a law. It is not a fact. What is it? It's conclusory. It's nothing but hackneyed, overworked phrases rendering the paper meaningless. And it will be seen and heard around the world on www. Page 62. Sorrow. Specifically, the court held that every change of mind is not a breach of contract. Isn't that stupid? That's what a breach of contract is. A change of mind. A change of mind is a breach of contract. A breach of contract is a change of mind. Isn't it amazing how in broad daylight, in front of the whole world, they'll just lie? That is what a breach of contract is. It is a change of mind. Isn't it disgusting? How they slither around black letter law for their own selfish purposes. This disqualifies them as a judge. All of you judges, step down. You're all disqualified. You, Rudolph. You, Angio Little. You, McCabe. You, Tannenbaum. You, Lippman. And you, LaCavre. And all of you lawyers. Sarah, Callaghan. And sadly, Stevens, Burke and Burke, or Jerk and Jerk. This disqualifies you as a judge. You have to step down. Glendora exalts this evidence that these judges have violated her constitutional rights, as stated in Part A, up front, and that they have done so to the extreme. Why does Sarok narrate this and want it over? And warm it over? Read it firsthand. Read the judges' slop firsthand. It is in the record, but it is all a nullity anyway. Their paper was not signed by a judge. Indeed, it was not signed by 3 judges, and we have them wiggle out of this one. Try wiggling out of this one. Sarok offers nothing as an argument that exculpates Eacock, Toman, Rudolph, McCabe, Lippman. They are caught. Nothing here is adhesive nor cohesive. It is a washout. It's as dull as dishwaters, and damn it goes. Where is your manhood, you people? Now what has Sarah achieved here? The answer is nothing. His warmed over appellate paper, which anybody is better off reading firsthand, is secondhand, and it profits him nothing. And now Sarok goes into his argument saying that the appellant offers no basis for re-argument. Well, this is all overly broad. We'll use one of their hackneyed phrases. And it's no fact, and it's no law, and it's conclusory. Glendora did not ask for re-argument. Glendora asked for relief. So it's a big lie, and it's his big lie number 132. So that everything that follows it is nothing. His premise fails, therefore his argument falls. Instead, Glendora merely rehashes allegations pertaining to the merits of her lawsuit. Glendora is the only one who talks about the merits. Sarok can't, because he can't defend against them. And the appellate term doesn't. The 3 judges don't, because they know that the merits are solid, and they won't deal with the merits either. Sarok eschews the merits because he is unable to find a meritorious defense. He has none. His papers are all without merit and are frivolous in their entirety, to quote him. Sarok says the underlying merits of her baseless claims, however, have nothing to do with the propriety of the appellate decision. Stop! Stop! He is not going to slop this through. List the underlying merits. Prove that the claims are baseless. Prove that nothing is to do with the propriety of the appellate division. Sarok has the wrong court. This is not the appellate division. It is the appellate term. This is addled, confused, empty, unsound, and muddled. Page 66. First, he has the wrong law, re-argue. Next, he has the wrong court. And after that, he spits out computer washouts, and this is fatal to his so-called argument. Says Sarah, this is fatal to her motion. And then he spits out a lot of dumb things called case law, which is a contradiction. There is no such thing as case law. Cases do not make law. Judges do not make law. Congress makes law, and the legislature makes law. Sarok says the lower court correctly held that no contract existed between Glendora and ECOC on the basis that every change of mind is not a breach of contract. Well, I think we've heard that before. Have I told you about Sarok? That he thinks he's getting paid by the pound, if he's getting paid at all. He may be pro bono on this. I don't see anybody getting up any money to pay for what he's done. A breach of contract is a change of mind. Dummies. A change of mind is a breach of contract. Isn't it awful? You have to play kindergarten? There cannot be said to have been a meeting of the minds on the terms of the agreement at any point. Oh, yes, there was. Will you renew? Yes, I will. That's a meeting of the minds. So, he has said, and it has been refuted indisputably. This is mere bulk. He has nothing to say, and he says it twice. The appellate term cheated, and Toman cheated, and ECOC cheated. Is that a nice thing for a mother to do? Says Sarok, it is black letter law that the formation of a contract requires a manifestation of mutual assent. Yes, it is. And ECOC gave it. Will you renew? Yes, I will. That's a mutual consent. Well, ECOC did, and this is not a law, and Sarok has no defense. This is the type of paper that the ghostwriter for the appellate term uses, nothing of any substance, but stand on its slop anyway. We are at page 67. A contract requires a bargain in which there is a manifestation of mutual assent to the exchange and a consideration. Where does he pull that from? It's another bad decision by a bad judge. It is not law. It's case nonsense. It's case addled confusion. The consideration ECOC stated was to do something nice for somebody. That's why she said she did it. She wanted to be nice. To help somebody out. Toman said a consideration was not necessary. Monetary consideration in public access is against the law. Such manifestation of mutual consent requires that each party either make a promise or render a performance. Well, she did. And Glendora did. And where is the testimony, witnesses, evidence, and trial? Say that we did not. Where was Sarok at oral argument to say all this in his 5 vapid pages herein? His quote is not a law. Sarok's paper must be stricken. He is not allowed to argue afterwards when he did not appear at oral argument, December the 16th, 2006. Sarok says, manifestation of mutual assent to an exchange requires that each party either make a promise or begin or render performance. Well, this is not a law. This is another, quote, out of context from another bad decision by another bad judge. The only law that Sarok cites in his so-called memorandum of law is a wrong law, re-argument. That was nice back then when it used to be, wasn't it? Glendora did not ask for re-argument. Glendora asked for relief from a paper that was not an order because it was not signed by a judge, nay, even 3 judges. Sarok says further, Glendora again wrongly claims that she was entitled to discovery and a trial. Well, this is not what the law says. Sarok, again, does not know the law. The law says trial in small claims. A small claims case has to go to trial. And Sarok cannot learn that. And the law says discovery in small claims, limited discovery. Sarok has no defense against these. Notice how he slides over it so stealthily. He puts it inside of a sentence with 6 other lies. Sarok says, as discussed above, her claims are deficient as a matter of law. Well, what was it discussed above? Where was it that he proved Glendora's claims are insufficient as a matter of law? He just throws these things out and he never proves them. What is the law? Re-argument is not applicable here. Sarok's lying is linear. Every line is a lie. Sarok's lying is linear. Every line is a lie. Glendora has to cut out every line and correct the lie in each. And he is up to 200 lies. He wrote 12 pages and he's up to 200 lines. Sarok says no amount of discovery or a trial would cure the legal deficiencies of her claims. This is not the law. A trial is the law. Section 1801 of the Small Claims Act. Discovery is the law. Section 1801 et sequitur. Rule in 60 days is the law. Section 222.19 Civil Practice Laws and Rules. Toman took a year. So did Voch. Where is Sarok's supporting argument for this statement? Watch the appellate term now, ghostwriter. Lap this up. Lap up Sarok's slop. And try to stand on it. Did the appellate term invite Sarok to submit these papers? 71 page. Glendora's claims were properly denied in a summary fashion. A. Well, it's not the fashion to deny claims summarily in small claims. Sarok has failed to show so. Sarok has no standing to say so. He did not appear at oral argument on December the 16th, 06. He has no statutory authority. He has no applicable law in his memorandum of law. Says Sarok, much of her motion is improperly devoted to ad hominem attacks against the panel that rendered the appellate decision. And so let me just show you what has to be done here. Sarok does not defend against them. He does not defend against the ad hominem. And Glendora says they are ad deum. Ad hominem means against the person, against the human being. They are not ad hominem, they are ad deum. They are to God. That last report, deum, was winning over hominem. God was winning over man. He says the panel that rendered the appellate decision and to allegations. Well, Glendora did not make allegations, she adduced. It is prima facie. It is facially meritorious, her claims. And deum triumphs, and hominem fails. And Glendora's allegations of bias, Sarok says, however, are wholly conclusory. Well, I think that statement is too. You prove it, Sarok. Your supporting argument is noticeably AWOL. 72. And Sarok says, and need not be considered by the court. Who said not considered by the court? What is the statutory authority? If the court does not consider them, Glenn wins on all of them. Sarok has no standing to say anything. He was not at oral argument December 16th. And Glendora said her 6 court monitors were. I had 6 court monitors watching these 3 judges, McCabe, Rudolph, and Lippman. Sarok has no personal knowledge of the case nor the cause of action. He has no personal knowledge of the events nor of the litigation. He is a latecomer. His lies now are up to 212. In short, the motion is wholly without merit and should be denied, and he hasn't shown where or why. He says in short, and I say it's far too short. He says everything with a glaring deficiency. And he has no standing in the court. And what is entirely without merit is Sarok's stop of the pages, the slop. It's slop, it's not stop. And he has no standing. And his paper has to be stricken. Only the appellate term ghostwriter can exude papers worse than Sarok's. And now we go to Upsilon. It's Upsilon, and in the Yonkers court he pronounced it Upsilon. And we are at his so-called conclusion. Where is the signature? Where is the signature of Eacock? It says, for the reasons set forth herein, Deborah Eacock respectfully, Glendora crosses out respectfully, it is not respectfully when you lie, avers that the motion should be denied in its entirety, and she should be awarded. And Glendora says that the motion should not be denied, and Glendora shouldn't, and that Deborah Eacock should not be awarded costs. And he says attorney's fees. Well, you're not awarded attorney's fees in small claims. So far, there has been no defending, and he says for defending Eacock. So far, he hasn't defended Eacock. Sarok has no say anyway. Now you see how his signature changed? You remember the last one? Look at this one. Bad as it is, it keeps changing. And what does it show about his head? What is going inside the head that wrote the signature? Empty, confused, unsound, muddled, and this is written proof. Sarok does not know enough to write paper, but he doesn't know enough to write his papers, and then he doesn't know enough to send his papers by regular mail. That disqualifies the papers right away. They have to be stricken. Any legal paper, no matter how you send it, if it's overnight, if it's express, if it's priority, it has to be sent by regular mail. So his paper is a nullity. And that brings us up to page 75. And we go on to part D. And it's Glendora versus Cecilia Mastrouli, Taibat Salako, Jill DeCrenza, and Officer Lewis of the Peekskill Police Department. Cecilia Mastrouli kept cheating and chasing away Glendora's signers. The Italian man who was so nice, she talked him out of it. Eacock, DeCrenza, Tony Muley, Nan Vero and Yonkers, Langelotti and Harrison, and many more. To say nothing of Taibat Salako and Peekskill. Glendora had to return to Harrison, Peekskill, Yonkers, etc., and find new signers. This cost hours, dollars, and ergs, didn't it, folks? So Glendora sued Mastrouli in small claims, White Plains City Court, for damages, $5,000. It cost much more than $5,000, but this is the maximum monetary jurisdiction in a city court in the state of New York, in small claims. Mastrouli did not show. Default judgment was granted to Glendora on August the 24th, 2005 for $5,000 plus $20 costs. Glendora demanded payment September the 24th, 2005. Mastrouli did not respond. Glendora paid the sheriff to go after Cecilia to garnish her wages, to pay out of her Cablevision money. 2 months after the August 24th, 2005 default judgment, Sarok gets an order to show cause signed by Brian Hansberry to vacate. Sarok lied that he had a meritorious defense and stupidly argued that White Plains City Court had no jurisdiction over an event that happened in Peekskill. He was ignorant of the law in Westchester County that any small claims action can be brought in any small claims court in any city of White Plains. The cities are White Plains and Mount Vernon and Rye and Peekskill and Yonkers. No matter where the small claims action originated, it can be brought in any one of those 5 city courts. That's how stupid he is. He served the order to show cause on Glendora without including the affidavits and memorandum of law, the bases upon which Hansberry signed it. Glendora had to refute the order to show cause twice because of the shoddy workmanship and ignorant lawyering. Sarok claimed that Mastroili's default was